What's going on, guys? Yankee Cowboy back for another video. We're going to switch things up a little bit today. Behind me on the bench, you may have seen this in the background past couple of videos, is a knife. This is the benchmade nestucca. We're going to jump down and take a look. Alright guys, so here it is, the nestucca from Benchmade. This is from their Hunt series. You guys may have seen this sitting in the background. We're finally going to get into it, switch it up a little bit from some gun videos, get back to some hunt and then some knife videos. This is the nestucca. It's 15100-1. That's the number if you want to look it up by their model number. This is a nestucca cleaver, is how it's labeled. You guys take a look at that. That's how it's labeled up. This is the box it comes in. Nothing fancy inside, guys. Open it up. The knife doesn't really even fit in here, actually. And then you got your, of course, your Benchmade literature in there. So let's get the box out of the way. Nothing fancy there. Nice looking box. Here's the knife itself. Beautiful presentation. Nice leather sheath on it with a snap. It's got the Benchmade logo in it. Of course, your Benchmade knife here has got the logo on it. Beautiful orange handle, which is very important when you're out hunting and skinning deer. I've lost a couple of knives that I search around for. You want something with an orange handle, so if you lay it down in the grass, it sticks out. It's real visible. So here's a close look at it. Like I said, there's that Benchmade embossed in the leather, the Benchmade on the blade itself, and the beautiful orange scales. These are really nice scales, guys. And the steel on this is an S30V. And the scales on here, I believe, are just like a plastic mic. Oh, these could be a micarta scale. I'll dig into that, guys. I should know what they are, but I don't offhand. Got some nice aggressive jimping on the handle. Some nice jimping up here on the blade. Let's take it out of the sheath. Now this is what makes this knife great. I wanted something with an ulu style for slicing deer, and this thing, when I seen it, it just fit the bill. You put your hand in here, you get a good purchase on the jimping here. If you want to do some close caping, you can put it up here, which I've done on a deer. I didn't harvest a deer yet, but a buddy of mine did, and I got to use this. The first night I got it, actually, he harvested a deer, and I got to gut it with this, and it was fantastic using this thing. It worked out just like I thought it was gonna. You know, I held it like this, and I was doing my cuts, and then when I got in there, do a little fine work like that to get the loin out of there. It was just beautiful. It's got a little taper here for your finger. There's so many different ways you can, for your thumb here, if you want to hold it back here, maybe take some bigger sweeps. This is just great. It just really fits in the hand perfectly. The ulu style has been used for years by Alaskans and other people, I'm sure, but this blade design is fantastic. I love it. I ended up picking this one up for, I think, around 90 bucks, which isn't bad. They're usually 100 and change new, but I got it for 90 bucks. Really happy with the purchase. It does a great job on skinning. And I harvested a pheasant the other day, which I chopped the wing off with this, almost just like you know how the ulu is meant to be pushed down and just rock it, and it chopped right off. So it did a nice job on pheasant. It's a little big for game, you know, for birds and stuff like that, but for deer, this is big game. This is an absolute awesome design for big game. Now sharpening this thing is going to be a little bit of a trick because I generally use the Work Sharp, but I'm going to get the Work Sharp Ken Onion edition because there's a little more flexibility in it with the angles, and I think it'll do a much better job. So once I get that, we'll do a sharpening video, and I'll show you guys how to sharpen this thing, because this has got a long sweeping blade. Unless you have one of those styles that sweeps back and forth, I don't think the Work Sharp's going to be very good for this. But the Ken Onion one, I think, will. So I'm going to order the Ken Onion edition and get that. But again, this is just, you know, it's just a beautiful design, guys. I can't say enough about it. I was going to make one of my own like this, but when I saw this one already done, and I'm a fan of Benchmade, you know, as you can tell over here, I got my other Benchmade knives. I had to have it, so I grabbed it, and I'm really glad I did, because it did such a nice job on skinning the deer and working on that pheasant. It just made life a lot easier. This is a great design. So if you guys haven't seen anything along these lines of an ulu style knife, this is the way to go, guys. I've tried many knives. I use this knife now and the one that I built myself, and those are the only two knives I use. I mean, they stay sharp, they hold an edge for a long time. The S30V, I'm not familiar with this steel, so I'm going to see how this does. It's still pretty darn sharp. I'm not going to cut any paper with it or anything, but I'll tell you what, it's still pretty darn sharp. But I'm going to put a better edge on this once I get that Ken Onion. And like I said, we'll jump back and do another video on this for sure. I'll do a sharpening video. We'll do a few blades, but we'll definitely put this one in the mix just to see how the Ken Onion edition does on this, because like I said, I want to get a little different edge on this than what's on here now. So that's it, guys. What do you think of this thing? I think it's pretty cool, and we're going to jump out and do some final thoughts. Alright guys, so some final thoughts on the benchmade nestucca. Works fantastic on a deer. That ulu style blade is fantastic for slicing the deer up, cutting it up, and getting all the entrails out. It worked amazing. Now the other thing is pheasant. It worked pretty good on the pheasant too. When I had to cut through the wing and all that, like I said in the video, it worked pretty good. So any questions or comments, leave them below. I'd like to hear from you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next one.